Welcome to Bob Voice Note Episode 7, Bending the Balance, When the System Becomes the Constraint. We missed December. That doesn't mean the lesson wasn't happening. Perspective matters. When you're used to a supervisor who is exceptionally capable, things don't drag. Decisions move, context is assumed. Problems are anticipated before they land on your desk. You don't spend time translating the work. You spend time doing the work. Then the structure changes. All of a sudden, you find yourself slowing down, filling in gaps, and explaining things that once moved effortlessly. What used to feel fluid now feels heavy. Not because the work changed, but because the support did. That shift is disorienting. You start wondering if you're the problem, if you're being impatient, if your expectations are unrealistic. They aren't. You're reacting to a system that no longer matches the level of performance it demands. Sometimes the challenge isn't the work, it's the structure supporting the work. Imagine learning that your new supervisor lacks the experience or background needed to support the role you're being evaluated on. You're expected to deliver outcomes, solve problems, and perform at a high level, but the guidance, context, or advocacy you need isn't there. And then your performance evaluation comes up. You know there's a constraint. You know it affects results. But you also know you can't speak openly about it. So you bend. You self-edit. You compensate. You manage up without authority while being measured down. That's not a performance issue. That's a system issue. And this matters, so hear this clearly. None of this makes someone a bad person. It does make the system fragile. Most people involved are trying to do the right thing. But intention doesn't stabilize a system. Structure does. When feedback only flows one direction, balance disappears. Here's what bending looks like in this situation. You over-document to protect yourself. You solve problems before they surface upward. You avoid escalation to preserve relationships. You accept vague feedback you can't operationalize. You're not underperforming. You're overcorrecting. And over time, the system starts measuring your silence as stability. So how do you rebalance without burning the bridge? You don't attack the person. You name the support gap. There are areas where more technical or contextual guidance would help me deliver better outcomes. Some challenges would be easier to address with clearer escalation paths. I'm accountable for results, but parts of the process are outside my control. That's not defiance. That's leadership language. Because when you can't speak honestly about the constraint, you become the constraint. And survival is not a performance strategy. Balance isn't passive. It's maintained. Good people can work inside fragile systems. The outcome depends on whether leadership chooses to reinforce the structure or ignore the stress fractures. Until then, pay attention to what you're carrying that was never meant to be yours.